Hi guys, good morning. I am DR.T.SUMATHI, Assistant Professor, Department of Zoology, A.D.M. College for Women, NAGAPATTINAM. Today I am going to take the class, 3rd BSc Zoology students, and the subject is Vermiculture. You know very well about the Vermiculture. What is meant by Vermiculture? Why we study about Vermiculture? Normally, the culturing of the earthworm, that is called Vermiculture. Before that, just we have to know about what is earthworm. What are the phylum, class, order of the earthworm? First we have to know the phylum Annelida and the class Clatylata, order Opthophora, kingdom Animalia. These are the external structures, and also we have to know about the earthworm. Next, earthworm normally called commonly found in soil, and also they eating wide variety of organic matter such as plant matter, living matter. Living things means living animals, protozoa, rotifers, nematodes, bacteria, fungi and other microorganisms also. The plant matter like leaf litter, waste leaves also they have to digesting of the organic matter. And in the earthworm digestive system runs the length of its body. Why we indicating the digestive system is length of the body? Because the digestive system is important of the earthworm. Fully animal matter and plant matter also digestions take place in the internal structure of the body. So digestive system is important, and also one of the peculiar system, very peculiar system in earthworm. It respires through its skin. Normally we have the respiratory organs, lungs. Some animals have the lungs and also gills. For example, amphibian also have the during tadpole cells, they are breathing through the gills. After they have to develop stages, they have uses of the lungs. But the earthworm is respirating through the skin. The respiration take place through the skin, that is called cutaneous respiration. That is one of the technical term, cutaneous respirations. Next, just we have to know about central overview of the earthworm. That is central overview of earthworm means head regions, body regions and anus regions also. Already I told you phylum Annelida, and this earthworm shape is a tube-like structure, that is a tube shaped. And also one of the characters is peculiar body structure, that is metamerically segmented body. Metamerically segmented body means the body is contained in the so many segmentation, so that is called metamerically segmented. And also the where it is live, that is a habitat. You know the animals after before just we have to know about the animal, we know about what is the habit and the habitat. Habit means where the animals is living, habitat means the animals is eating something, that is the earthworm habitat is inside the earthworm are the moist places. Moist places means just watery places. Without water they cannot live normally. And also it feed live or dead organic matters. In the feeding also live organic matter, and it have the coelom, cuticle, epidermis and so many parts, internal part. And also one of the part is very important, that is called clitellum. 14 to 16 segments, the clitellum also present. Why we the clitellum is important? Excrete reproductive part also, the clitellum also very important. And in the head regions already I know about the mouth region, esophagus, gizzard, intestine and metanephridium, everything also present. Next, the alimentary canal of the earthworm. Alimentary canal means digestive system of the earthworm. The digestive system is starting from mouth to anus. And also nervous system. The earthworm contains so many systems. One of the digestive system, another is a nervous system. They have nervous system also, buccal nerves, nerve ring, cerebral ganglia, ganglions, and also connective, that is a circumbranchial connective. Everything also subpharyngeal connective, subpharyngeal ganglia. It have not a protruded individual brain, it have the ganglia. The brain also acts as a ganglia. The nerve's third segment, fourth segments also vary, depends upon the functions, the ganglions also vary. And also one of the important systems, circulatory system. Circulatory system is also the blood vessels also occurs. So the circulation also important of the living of the animals. These are the alimentary canals and nervous system and the circulatory system. Next, earthworm also handle the reproductive system. This already I told you the skin respirations. that is a cutaneous respiration is important. At the same time, the earthworm also contain it have the reproductive system also very important. Why? The earthworms are monoecious or hermaphrodite animal. What is mean by hermaphrodite animal means it have not a individual male and female, but each carries both male and female reproductive organs occur in the same animal. That is a very important of the earthworm. There are no separate male and female animals. After that, how the reproduction, how the egg is formed, how the sperm is fertilized, that is in this diagram also indicating the copulation and the fertilization. Upper two animals is copulate and exchanging the sperm and ova in between the animals. So, the copulation also occur after the formation of egg, after the young ones is formations. This type of reproductive system is a very peculiar in the earthworm. Next, before slide, just we have to know about what is the earthworm, why we study about earthworm. They have so many systems, so many organs, some peculiar character also. The vermiculture, before to learn about vermiculture, just we have to know about that particular animal. So, we studied about last slide. After that, just we, in these slides also we have to know about what is meant by vermiculture. Normally, vermicultures can be defined as the culturing of the earthworms. Why we culturing of the earthworms? The earthworm is a farmer friend. After the earthworm is present in one of the places also very fertile places. The earthworm is not present that places. We cannot cultivate anything. That is one of the biological indicator. But what are the, how we know about the earthworm is present by biological indicators? Just we have to divide two groups of earthworm. One is a humus farmer, another one is a humus feeder. The first group dwell on the surface and feed on the nearly 90% of the organic matter. Dwelling means just a burrowing habitat on the surface. It fully, the humus farmer means fully just digesting of the organic matter, and also they are generally color also different, darker in color, and also it is called ebigic form or detrivorous earthworm. These worms are generally hardness for the vermicomposting. It is important for the vermicomposting. Why? Because it is important. It is digesting of the 90% of the organic material from the soil. So, that is very important. Next, normally humus feeder or burrowing worms, some which all the useful in both the compost preparation as well as making the soil porosity. It's very part in this is a peculiar part in these worms. What is the soil porous is important. After formation of the soil porous, it is a aeration of the soil. The waterlogging also it is highest. So, that's composting of the preparations, the animals is peculiar. Generally, the burrows help in the mixing and disturbing the humus through the soil. Why it is important of the mixing and disturbing the humus mean? After that, it is formation of the manure. It has been proved the earthworm can degrade the organic waste speedily and efficiently. It gives the organic waste useful of the farmers. So, this worms humus feeder also important. Next, we have to divide, already I told you, three ecological group of earthworm. These three ecological group of earthworm, how we differentiate these ones? One is a length, that is the endogenic form, abesic form, anisic form. These are the technical term. These following already said, they have to measuring of the endogenic form, that is measuring the 4 to 5 centimeter. Another one is the anisic form also very length, that is 10 centimeter, and abesic form also minimum 4.5 to 5, that is the abesic form. Normally the Lumbricus rufilus, the leaf form also present in our country and Tamil Nadu also. The anisic form, what is endogenic form means? In the endogenic forms is living in the rich soil feeder and top soil. The indicating white color, the worms are also present in that particular places. Top soil mean surface of the soil they have to present, and also no pigmentation occurs in the body, and also the burrowing of the habit is a horizontal burrowing. That is a burrowing mean just ticking the soil, and also it is looks like small size compared than two species. Another one is a abesic form, that is a litter feeder. whenever the matter is a digested matter, that is a litter feeders, leaf litter, a litter dweller. Another one is it is a pigmenter. Endogenic form of animals also no pigmentation. Ebizic form, that example, that animal angle worms is otherwise called, the body is a pigmented and no burrowing habits, and it is also small size. Next one, anisic form, the litter plus soil feeder. They eat both litter and soil also, and also soil dwellers. Soil dwellers means soil burrowers, and dorsally pigmented, not fully pigmented, dorsal side only pigmented, extensive of the vertical burrows, and it looks like a large size compared than endosic form and abesic form. These are the three worms, three ecological group of worms. Just we have to using of the vermiculture. Next, already abesic form and endosic form, how the length of the worms occurs in the soil, surface soil and in between the soil and deep soil. The abesic is here, rubella species, caligno species, longa species. These are the color also varied, looks like very nice color. Normally the earthworms have two sides, one is a dorsal side, another one is a ventral side. If we use the any one of the dissection, just we have to use a dorsal side, we don't use a ventral side. How to identify the dorsal side? The dorsal sides have the, just we can know about the lengthy digestive system. It is a dark brown color, that is called the dorsal side. Yeah, already the three groups of earthworm identified by the pairs within the soil. Abesic is a Greek word, upon the earth. Abesic earthworm is a Greek word, that meaning upon the earth. Endosic meaning within the earth. Upon means surface of the earth. Endosic mean within the earth, in between the earth. Anisic form means out of the earth. Out of the earth means the in deep soil. So that form is a anisic. The ecological classification, all the abesic, endosic, anisic, the word is not a English word, it is a Greek word. Just we have to know about that once. Next, normally vermiculture, the African earthworm, tiger worms, Asian worms. Already I told you most of the worm, Asian worms also used for vermiculture. Some of the worms, African earthworms, Utila species also present in the Africa. That worms also used for vermiculture and the composting also. These worms also gives the vermicast and composting good. Next. Next, in the concept of the vermiculture became well known. 50s of the centuries they have using of this Western Europe, the mass of breeding of earthworm, they given the large amount of manure. Subsequently, USA and England and France also conducting several experiments related to the vermiculture technology and efficient disposal of the organic waste and uses of the some cropland, paddy field, everything. After that, we have to know about these worms also very important of the farmers and the cultivable part. Next. However, increasing of the efficiency of the vermicomposting, we should take care of the worms thrive well, organic matter, breed faster, adapting, and also to living in a moisture and a climatic fluctuation also. That's only it's good to get highest vermicomposting. Before that, just we have to choose this character. Normally, the most beneficial features of the vermicomposting is that eliminate the foul smell of decaying organic matter and fully aerobic system. How does the vermiculture work? And that vermiculture also uses of the consuming of the farmer. How it working? Normally in the earthworm feed on, already I told you, organic waste 2 to 5 times in their body weight. For example, 2 grams, 3 grams, 5 grams of the weight, the intake of the food material 20 to 25 grams of the soil in the body, consuming the soil and gives the organic waste. They use a relatively small amount their intake of their growth and excrete the mucus coated, the undigested matter as vermicast. The vermicast, the word technical term is very important because the vermicast means the undigested matter in earthworm part, that is called vermicast. The digested part is called manure, undigested part also vermicast. That vermicast also consisting organic matter that undergone a physical and chemical breakdown through the activity and the muscular disorder that grind the material. These vermicast also used for manure because normally the physical structure of the soil also changed by using some chemical breakdown, means using some enzymes. Next slide also I will told you the what are the enzymes used to digestion of the soil matter. Next, the nutrients is present in the vermicast are readily soluble in water to uptaking by the plants. This vermicast also ready to absorbing of the plant, that is readily soluble in water. It is easily absorbing the plant. After they have to use us to formation of vegetables and fruits also. Next, the vermicast contain a rich source of macro and micronutrients, NPK, that is here, and also vitamins, enzymes, antibiotic, growth hormones, and the microflora also present in the vermicast. Normally, vermicomposting is considered as a superior to other type of compost because its quality also high. The vermicomposting material also very useful to observing of the plant matter. So, that is very, very important. The micronutrients, vitamins also rich content in the vermicast. Next, moreover, the earthworm ingest the litter, tongue. Tongue means animal excretory part, and other organic matter, the grind to form a fine thin particle. It is increasing of the, what is the uses of this fine particle, thereby increasing the surface of the area and promoting the faster decomposition of the soil. The faster decomposition of the soil also used for growing of the animals in that particular places, microorganism, and absorbing the plant, easily uses of the plant. The materials passes through the body of the earthworm to produce a vermicast. The soil with vermicast have roughly 100 times more bacteria than soil without worms. In case the worms is not present in that particular places, when it is not a beneficial bacteria is present in that particular places. So, the vermicast is very, very important to growth of the any one of the plant in particular places. Next, moreover, normally plant growth promoting the substance have been reported the presence of the vermicast. Why that is vermicast is supporting? Excess moisture and lack of proper aeration can be causes the mortality of the worms. Excess moisture means highest content of the water and waterlogging area also. It is just they have to stopping the aeration. So, it causes the after that the mortality of the worms, and also very, very important of the pH of the soil. This time also just you have to know about what is the pH present in the soil. You know, acid and base, below 7 is acid, above 7 is alkaline, and the neutral pH of the soil is very important. Highest pH of the soil, it does not live normally. The water and pH also it's going to mortality. Mortality means death of the worms. And also we should provide the proper drainage holes to drain the excess of water from that formation of the bit. Already we have to forming of the bed formation, that just we have to drainage of the excess of the water. The water thus drained can be used to vermiwash of the plant. Just we have to growing of the some of the plant, the absorbing the water, the animals also live normally. Next, the worm prefer the food that wet, high nutrients and relatively low in carbon. What are the food material intaking of the worms? I mean earthworms. The wet, high nutrients and also low carbon, highest carbon of the plant material or any one of the material they cannot eat, just they have to avoiding. And ideal food means important food may including the rooting of the fruits. Rooting fruits means decaying fruits or vegetables. Another one is a kitchen waste, some animal manure, some garden waste and compost, and also it is a uses of the some cardboard also, that is uses of digesting of the intaking of the food material of the earthworm, and digesting process is take place and given of the manure. Next, the worms do not like onion, garlic, shallots or any one of the material that contain highest ammonia or nitrogen level. Or large quantities of the fat and oils. Just they have to avoiding this type of food material of the earthworm. We do not dump any one of the onion peeling, garlic peeling and shallots of the materials means high ammonia content material. And we have to avoiding they have to uses of the direct matter of the without fat and the oil matter. In this theory, the worm can eat about own body weight and food per day. Already I told you how much amount of body weight, just they have to intake of the food material also that much amount. Because they do the function automatically, they need energy for that doing function. Depending on the type of quality of the worm, the food and the condition in which the worms are living, that's very important. These slides, we given the food material is the quality of the food material, just we get the manure also very quality. In case we didn't give the quality of the food material, like high ammonia material, nitrogen material, they don't want some of the materials, we didn't expect the highest normal manure from the animals. So, very important to give the intake of the food materials also, suitable food materials given the animal, we expecting the suitable manure of the that particular places. Next one, normally in the worms rely on billions of microorganisms. Microorganism means such as bacteria, algae, fungi, nematode, everything to soften and break down the organic material. Without microorganism, they cannot break down the material. The worm digests both microorganisms and organic matter, the using of the some enzymes. It takes around 90 days for the organic material to be processed by the worms and be ready for harvesting. After harvesting, just we have to do the another work, another young ones, another one of the bed also, bed formation. Next, why we study about vermiculture? Already just we have known about what is mean by earthworm, what are the systems occurs in the earthworm, what are the system is peculiar in the earthworm, everything, and also what are the economic importance of the vermiculture. Why we studied about this paper also, very important of the vermiculture. In future also just we have to know about one of the person known about any one of the business also, that economic importance of the vermiculture. First one is just we have to consider about the soil. What are the uses of vermiculture during the earthworm doing the function in the soil? It improve the soil aeration. Soil aeration means they have to forming burrowing habitat. The aeration also uses of the waterlogging area, water is goes to that particular places. That is just plowing of the soil. That is for improve the soil aeration. Another one is enriches the soil with microorganism. Just they have to adding such as phosphatase and cellulase, that is a enzyme. Phosphatase and cellulase, that is a enzyme. They have to enriching the soils. Another one is a microbial activity in the worm casting 10 to 20 times higher than the soil and organic matter that a worm ingests. And if to improve the water, already I told you the soil aeration is used for improve the water holding capacity. Why the water holding capacity is important? Because the plant also growing normally, it is nutritious, the water holding capacity also important. Next one. Next one of the important function, plant growth. By enhancing the germination, plant growth and crop yield also highest to putting of the vermi cast in that particular soil, and it also help to root and plant growth, enriches the soil microorganism. Already I told you one of the hormones is very enzymes, and the hormones also very important. Phosphatase one of the enzyme, cellulase one of the enzyme. At the same time the hormones also important of the plant growth, that is axin and gibberellic acid. That is one of the DR.B. questions also. What are the hormone uses to enriching of the plant growth? That is axins, another one is gibberellic acid. Next, a bite of food. These the earthworms also used to some animals, some birds also using up the food material. They are used as a bite in fishing all over the world. That various method used to drive out the burrows and making the large collection. Some small white earthworms are feeding off the fish, and we have to use some laboratory content. Laboratory of animal means just we cutting the animals, and just we have to know about what are the system available in the earthworm. And eagerly hunted the food material, some birds and notably some robins, one of the birds, and the chickens, hens also eating of the earthworm. That is highly nutritious protein food. It gives the good type of eggs and also some of the beneficial. They are eaten upon the frog, toads, moles and lizard, small snake, centipede and other predator invertebrates also eating of the earthworm. That is uses of the food material of the above animals. Next, In medicinal purpose also, the earthworm uses, they were used variously as a medicine in the past. The Ayurvedic and Unani system, Ayurvedic medicine and Unani system of the medicine, some therapeutic uses suggest this medicine value like bladder stones, in kidney bladder stones and jaundice and pyorrhea. That is, pyorrhea means some disease affecting our teeth, that is called pyorrhea, and pails and rheumatism. Rheumatism means just they have affecting some of the nerve diseases. These diseases preparing medicine also, they have to uses of earthworm. Even these days, the Chinese and Japanese, so our Indians also use the earthworm in various fancy medicine, cosmetics also. Some of the part uses in the earthworms. Next, these are the one of the cyclic process. The earthworms is occurs in the soil, normally plant matter, and also some using of the fertilizer, some of the plant synthetic filter also. After that, it goes to some indigestion of the, already I told you, some hands also eating. What are the cyclic process occurs in the soil? What are the uses of that plant also, and soil matter, good soil also? This is a cyclic process in groundwater, the pollutant water, everything also. Next, our studies concluded, and the earthworm activity can also relieve the compactant and make a nutrient avail to the plant. So many uses we have to using of the earthworm of beneficial. We have to maintaining the conserve of the earthworm. What we uses of the conserving of the earthworm, just we have to maintaining good health of the earthworm in that particular. We have to maintain good health mean good nutrient, just we have to avoiding any of the chemical in that particular places. We have to nutritious soil maintaining, growing of the earthworm is very, very important. Thank you guys.